style. You ain't know this game. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. You don't even know my pain. You can't even match my style. You don't even know this game. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah.
I can't believe that.
The whole thing.
I cannot believe that. Goodness. Spike is grown. Jeez. We don't even have the homework segment no more. This guy.
I listened to the whole thing. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so it must have been something interesting enough because I feel like you would have been.
I went into it with a preconceived notion or agenda. So I wanted to see if I was right or not. And I felt like I had to hear him all the way through to see if I was right or not.
I'm interested to see. Well, bring us in, then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Y'all know these voices. Y'all know what this is. Hopefully, Mo will leave that in. But being the professionals that we are, we're gonna do a professional start.
Yeah.
Welcome to AWITB. Another week in the books. I am Spike Lou. Mo, what up?
Hey, what up?
And love that background, brother.
Hey man, I'm gonna hook you up, man. If you want to hook up and get all what you got going on, bro, you tell me exactly what's up. I will hook that joint up.
I need that.
I got you.
I need that.
I will hook that joint up for you, bro. But yes, I am Maurice Hunt III. Real name, no gimmicks, no games, no scrimmage. I ain't playing with you niggas at all.
Open back in the booth.
Shouts out to Drake.
Back in the booth.
Yeah, I know what time it is. Drake and Kendrick made me change my name back to my name when I was rapping for the record.
They made you change it to your real name?
Yeah, definitely. Like, because
what did you go by before?
I had a few names. My first name when I was younger was like MOH3. Then it went to H3. Then when I got older and kind of got conscious, I went by Molitical. And yeah, that Molitical was that was like my last. Oh, I forgot before that I went by Prime. It was like Rhyme. It was before Royce and them, and then Molitical. And then that last run before I stopped making music, it was Maurice Hunt III. And I just stuck with it.
Maurice Hunt III, the most fire one of all.
Why is that?
Not for real, it is. That's fire. Nigga, I ain't never heard no rapper name like that.
Maurice Hunt III, it's like some Game of Thrones, like the thought.
Official, nigga. It's three of us, nigga.
There's three of us. Yes, sir, man. Good to be back, man. I hope y'all
much dedication that is to keep a name going on. You gonna name your son?
Nah.
What?
Nah,
what would that make? That would make you what? Like how would that work?
If
he's the fourth?
He would be the fourth. So
he would be Maurice Hunt. Like, is it the fourth? Is there a phonetical term for it? Like, is it so your dad's junior? You're the third.
I'm the third.
Trey, I would say. Yeah. They used to call you Trey.
Nah, I got my little brother-in-law. He go by Trey. That's why I just was H3. Like that was. But I almost
considered doing the fourth.
No, I did consider. For a long time.
Like if he hoop or something, making that football had that IV on the back.
The IV, that's kind of fire, bro. The
Hunt foe is fire, bro.
Hunt foe.
Man, imagine you in the stands of high school, he hooping or playing football, nigga. Hunt foe. Got everybody yelling Hunt foe. Man, come on, bro. That's fire.
Like RG3 type.
Come on, bro.
Look at him. He trying to sell me. He trying to sell me right now, bro.
Hunt foe. You got that Hunt foe jersey.
Wait till I tell my wife when we get off here. She like, babe, we are not about to be going back and forth for my name. We calling him.
She gonna be so mad at me. She ain't me. I know this nigga. Who the fuck is this nigga?
Right. But the way I came to that, and I know we keep moving, but like the way I came to so his name is Zaire Kadeem Hunt, and Zaire means
from like different world.
Yeah,
Kadeem Hardison. Nice.
Mm-hmm. So Zaire means king, Kadeem means servant, and so that wasn't intentional. It just happened to fall that way. But it's like a perfect blend right there. And then my daughter's name is Zion, so his name is Zaire. Kind of rolling with the Z concept, and then her middle name starts with my initial. His middle name starts with his mom initial, so it kind of all happened to flow like that. But Well, boy, you making a point, boy. I'm just gonna see what she think about. I'm gonna play it up a little bit. Just
you need
to
get a little hunt. You need to do a little mock up, a little Hunt Foe jersey. Like you just go in there with it.
I said, but I want to get him into baseball. Like I said, I'm switching the whole game. We getting into we're going baseball. We
sound like a $700 million contract.
Yeah,
Maurice Hunt the fourth just signed for $900 million today.
Look at him, man. This guy, boy. I see why you in sales, boy. You got it. You got it, boy.
It's hilarious, man. But y'all welcome, man. It feel like we've been doing this. Feel like it's been a while, Mo. It's just me and you, though, I would say.
Yeah, yep.
We had Dro, and then we had a touring page last week, man.
So Thanksgiving episode prior. Yeah.
So it ain't just be me and you cooking in a while, man. We back in the kitchen.
I'm very interested to see what are people's favorites in regard to like what do they prefer. I mean, we're gonna still have guests no matter what. I just be interested to see how people feel. Like I like when y'all be dolo. I like when y'all got guests on and make I would be interested to hear that.
What's our man's name in Huntsville?
His name is Mo too, I think. Mo.
Shout out to Mo too, man. We got that voice note, man. Beautiful. We appreciate it. We appreciate
it. Boy.
You're taking time out of your day and to let us know how this is affecting you. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Mo. Some of that feedback was overwhelming from the Thanksgiving episode to the feedback we get. We started this again to get to know each other so we could do the Sopranos podcast. We told that story before. I'm always like, man, wow. Like you said, like it's a real deal. And I'm not a wild dude. I'm not like, oh man, that was amazing. Like I don't do that a lot. But the feedback that we've gotten and like the role that this plays in men's life, men that we don't know, men that I care about, that I grew up with, like the feedback that I got, that shit really is like sometimes almost make you tear up, bro.
Oh, big facts.
Like, damn, bro. We just on here keeping it real, having conversations and hoping that people continue the conversations out in the world and feel more confident in doing so because they heard us talking about it. That was it.
That's it.
And for people to receive it the way that they do, man, that shit is it's really special to me. Really special.
Can I have a side tangent?
Go.
It's all tied into this.
Okay.
Maybe you could relate. I echo all of the same things Spike Lee said. So, I'm gonna kind of keep it. I'm gonna keep it in plural, but there's a specific one I have in mind. But like I remember, like there was a lot of different podcasts that I looked up to. Podcasters I looked up to. Of course, you and AB are in that list along with some others. And one of the others that I've listened to, they're when I was younger in my 20s, it was everything to me. Like I needed that. Like it was a real edgy content, but it was wrapped around some deep concept that I needed to hear. I tried to listen to it as of now, being older than I was then, and I couldn't do it. I tried. I was like, it hurt my feelings, bro. It's like a rapper.
What happened? Like what did the content change? Like the
content is still the same as it was then, but it was like
you grown.
Yeah, I mean, I was grown then, but
but you've grown more since then.
I've grown more since then, but I guess the challenging part for me was just like the statuses have changed for people, and I was hoping that the conversation would change a little more too. And it just kind of stayed where it was when it didn't really have to. And I was like, damn, that's one of those moments where like it's like your best friend, your homie, when he's like, bro, you kept moving on and you ain't hollered at him in a while, and you hollering, he's like, oh man, I didn't grown, man. This is happening. You hoping they grown, and then they still like doing the same thing. You're like, dang. That's how I felt, bro.
Really? Wow. But was there a reason? Like, it wasn't any particular reason? Do you think that you're receiving it different now? Like, I want to understand when you say, like, because I know for me, like, let's say with music, when you get that feeling, it's like, I'm too old for this now.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it ain't hitting like it used to or like it would have. But also, too, I still do enjoy some ratchet stuff. So if it's done well, and
there's those moments, and those moments are there.
So that's what I'm wondering. With you saying that about some of those podcasts, like, what do you think it is that changed the most? Whether you or them?
I mean, I guess it's me, but I take that out of it because I understand. I try to take those lenses off, and so when I'm listening, I'm thinking that, okay, there's going to be, because I've seen moments where it was more in the vein of, I feel like, because it played a heavy inspiration in my journey. So it's like I've seen, I was hoping that, but then it kind of wasn't quite that, and I was like, damn, So I probably go more into it off air. I'll tell you a little bit more off air as far as giving names or whatever. But like, it just was like, dang, I was just really hoping, because the talent is there. Yeah. The reach is there. But again, we talked off air prior to this. It makes me just appreciate more what we do. And the people have spoken, like you've said. So I'm grateful, man.
I love it, man. It keeps me going.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna lie. So from there, we're gonna go to relevant events, since we've last been together and been able to talk like this, Mo. And you sent me a podcast, The Pivot, and D1 was on there. And D1, if you guys, I don't know if we talked about it here, if I talked about it on deck, but I know I mentioned it somewhere.
I think on deck.
Yeah. So this is the dude who criticized Jim Jones, saying that he could be rapping about better stuff. And it was who else?
Rick Ross, Meek Mill.
Rick Ross. Meek Mill don't even count.
Don't do it like that.
Even count.
All right, you see it with Philly.
No, I'm not Safari, bro. I will.
Look at him. Look at him.
I'm a taxpaying citizen, man. I will call the police on Meek Mill.
Hey, you better get your 50 on, boy.
I'm 40 years old. Absolutely, nigga.
I'm 50 on right now.
Police on his whole. What's that ugly ass nigga name that just got beat up? I always talking about he gonna call the police. What's his name? The old dude with the messed up eye, Charleston White.
You
know, you familiar with him?
Yeah.
He quick to say he'll call the police.
I definitely will.
Yeah, tax-paying citizen, man. Too old to be out here fighting with me, man. You don't like what I say? Fuck him.
You hear me? Like, no hands.
No, but
guns.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there, man. But D1 said that those guys could do a better job in their positions of being more positive. In a nutshell, I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, "You're rapping about guns and drugs, and you guys haven't lived that life in a while. So why aren't you rapping about things more relevant to your life, putting a more positive message out there?" Now, D1 is a Christian rapper, Mo. Do I understand that correctly?
You understand that correctly.
I listened to The Pivot all the way through. All the way through. We had an issue about homework and just listening to the 10 minutes of it. But I was saying, as we started this, I went into it with a preconceived notion. So I did want to make sure, I want to do the proper research as a podcaster, which is I've done a lot of days on a lot of podcasts. But I did want to do my proper research before I made a fully committed stand on it.
Okay.
But I do want to hear where you come from on it first, because I do think that this is going to be a different conversation or different perspectives in this conversation. If I know you, if I've grown to know you correctly.
Here's what I think you're not going to see coming. Okay. I knew all of this as far as him being a Christian rapper, but I didn't come into it with my faith or my bias. Some people say, how can you do that? But I didn't, because when you have an understanding that, we're going to agree to disagree, then there's I don't come into any situation trying to like flip, like, I'm not coming into it like that, because I already know where I stand. I can tell by language and conversations with people where I see, okay, cool. I ain't going to even worry about it. Hey, you made your decision. I made mine. So I didn't come into this with that. But I think the points that he was making on The Pivot, he asked if y'all believe in God or don't believe in God. He's like, so if you don't, but either way, he's going to bring it. I felt like D1 was trying to bring it to you in regards. He was just saying like, what's going to, he made a great example to me. Y'all talk about we giving out turkeys, the turkey drive, or doing this and doing, but he said, what lives longer? Doing the turkey drive and doing this, or the content of your music when you're not here, when you're gone? What's going to live longer? I thought that was just one of those really interesting things. And then kind of what really drew me at the end was like the fact that like he was held at gunpoint when he was a young boy, and they pulled a strap on him and his homeboy, thinking that they were a part of some scheme that stole from them. And the only reason that they didn't get shot was because some lady from the top of the apartments looked through the window and said, "Oh my God!" And they end up running off, getting spooked from it or whatever. And so he's a victim of, the violence or whatever. But I just felt like The points he made was valid to me. It's just like, you're not there anymore. Why are we still doing it? We want to say movies. Oh, why the movie directors still make the same movie? Why do this and that? But everybody know hip hop hit different. But that's just a little.
Why do you think? So this was a question that came up on deck. Okay. When you say hip hop hits different, and I've been thinking about it since then because I didn't have an answer, and I'm really genuinely stumped by it. You say hip hop hits different. Mm-hmm. In that sense of hitting different, it means people like Andre say, well, I'm not going to do rap anymore. You've heard T.I. say, well, I don't feel comfortable jumping around on stage doing those songs. I'd rather do comedy. Or Jay-Z doing a 444 and doing more business stuff now than rap. That, our genre, hip-hop, it's the only, like, people criticizing Nicki Minaj here lately for being 40 and being on a little streamer, the Casanat dude's site. Like, these kids are half her age. They 20 years old, she's 40. And people look at it and they don't look at it as being a part of the job of hip hop. Like you just said, that's wild. It sounds crazy. It does. But could we be shaming ourselves into a position where hip hop isn't giving its just due in how it can mature? Right? It's like if the people who are great at it, like Andre and Jay-Z and T.I. say, I've outgrown this, that also makes the fan think that too. So you get, like, I've talked about it on here. I don't listen to rap as much because I've grown up, and this is what perplexes me about it so much. Mm-hmm. But I'm familiar with rock artists who perform until they're 80, 90 years old. I'm familiar with country artists who do it. I'm familiar with R&B singers who still they go out, their legacy acts, they 60 years old now. What is it about the craft of hip hop where we feel like that stage of our life we outgrow? That's no longer what I want to define me, because nobody else does that in music, in movies, in any of those things. Like Robert De Niro will still play a gangster today. Mm-hmm. Robert De Niro don't go say, oh, I can't play that type of role anymore, I'm too old, or like I don't want to be perceived in that manner. Why is it only hip hop? Like, that's really the only industry mm-hmm. that happens. Mm-hmm. And I don't really have an answer for that.
I think, what do you think that is? I just think that hip hop is, we know it reports to the streets. Hip hop to me is like, it's like literally like the news reporter telling you, okay, this is the weather on 12/12/23. So it's good in that moment. It's everything you need. Oh, this crime happened today, and this happened today, and this and that. But then when years go down, do I want to go back and rewatch what happened on 12/12/23 when it's 12/12/28? Mm-hmm. I feel like, so when you look at other genres of music, it's just not built around relevance. It's built around concept. It's built around emotion. It's just built around something different. Hip hop is cutting edge. It's on the brink of what's happening at the very moment in real time. You could get that in hip hop. So while that is the gift, it seems like it's also the curse. So it's like when people report, and then not only that, but hip hop is more transparent than any other genre. It's more vulnerable than any other genre.
You think?
Yes, it's built on that.
Hip hop artist than any other art, any other art, other probably than this one, podcasting. Like, yes, people pick up on authenticity.
So then when you
with hip hop, you have to be authentic.
So when you age, the authenticity of who you are now versus the authenticity of who you were then, a lot of times people can't support.
But that's the thing that I have a hard time wrapping my mind on, because those things happened. Those things shaped these men as people. Even with me, and again, I'm the same way. Like, I don't listen to hip hop half as much, a third of 25% as much as I did when I was younger. So I get it. However, it is kind of perplexing to me to see people say, like what you're saying, that you age out of it, because ain't that much shit changed in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, the vernacular changed, people use different words. Maybe the hustle changes up just a little bit, but some of the shit that T.I. rapped about 20 years ago is still relevant today. You know what I'm saying? So why do they they shy away from it? Like Andre said, he doesn't have a desire to do it. Like, what am I supposed to rap about? He said. Lil Wayne said that hurt his feelings, like we were saying on deck. You hear Lil Wayne rapping, you wouldn't think that he's 43 years old. Lil Wayne has a genuine love for this, and he's did his whole life. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Look how you responded to it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that this is the only genre that you get that type of response to. Niggas would be like, look at Nicki Minaj, she 40, why she doing that? Well, because she's a rapper. Why are we looking down on
it?
Like, nobody gets mad at the Rolling Stones for jumping around and doing the same thing that they did in the 70s or the 80s, even though they're 80 years old now. Nobody gets mad at U2 and Bono. They're performing the same songs.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're making like, bro, I forgot what song I was listening to. It was some white band or something. It was like, I don't know, the 80s. But like, it was a catchy tune, bro. Really catchy. Like some kind of like chanting pop, rock type thing. And I'm like, it made me feel good just hearing it. And then immediately I felt the thought of, hey, why can't we do stuff like this? Or why can't we get the exposure for when we do stuff like this? Because it serves differently. I just feel like where hip hop has served, and then the people behind the scenes that have the gatekeepers, so to speak, saying, okay, we're going to put eyes on this, no eyes on that, eyes on this, no eyes on that. I think that quiet is kept. You need Drakes of the world because he gives you more flavors of things that don't necessarily always have to be violent. But even now we're still in that space because now he can't do it by himself, and then the industry won't give the exposure to other artists taking it somewhere else, but they will do it when we talk about popping pills, when we talk about turning up and going crazy, we talk about stealing men's girls. It's captivating. They put the push behind the wrong messaging. And so I think, bro, I talked to my wife.
Can we still even say they though? Like, we're able to.
Okay, let me take they out of it.
Okay.
I talked to my wife the other day. Bro, I'm so ashamed of my behavior when I used to podcast. I can't even share it here. I can't even share it.
Worthy, like it ain't, bro, you don't want that to your name no more.
Somebody gonna be like, bro, what was it? I can't even share it. But I tell you this, me and my wife was talking the other day, and like, I'll tell you this much, bro. I used to get so drunk. Yeah. I was getting stupid drunk, not like chilling, like, oh, we vibing, we having I was getting peanut butter tongue, slurring like a mug, bro. And I'm gonna leave it there.
Hey,
and then
that's embarrassing to listen to.
Oh man, and then like how I was trying to hold myself in regard to my friends and how I wanted them to look to me, like almost like, don't look at that, disregard that, this and that. So now when I look back at that moment, I'm not saying it's how rappers feel, but if I look back and say, hey, bro, Maurice, man, used to be fun, man, used to get turned, used to get lit, we used to record, do this and that. Bro, I can't go back to that place now. I don't care if it's irrelevant where somebody else be like, bro, I'm getting drunk because I'm trying to find myself. I'm getting drunk because I can't go back there now. So even if it resonates, even if it's real, even if it's relevant, I don't want to say that message today. You can hear it on the streaming sites, buy the albums, but I don't want to say that today because I don't feel that way no more.
That made me realize, you helped me come to a realization with that thought. And I'll lead into it. Would you say now versus then, you're a better place in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of rap, the best rap, in my opinion, is done when you're in survival mode.
Okay.
I'm trying to nigga figure it the fuck out. I don't know if it's shit. I'm rapping to make sure this shit work, to make sure I can get money. Like, I'm in survival mode, nigga. If these bars don't hit, nigga, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be selling dope for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. That's the best rap right there. Like, nigga, you can hear
like
it.
Like the Rents do.
Rent do, nigga. You know what I'm saying? My chick finna have a kid, nigga. We living in her mom's basement, nigga. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm trying to get it. Mm-hmm. That's the best rap. And now that you're explaining that, and I'm listening to a Jay-Z, a T.I., and Andre, I know that rap that they made, that they were in survival mode. Mm-hmm. I'm good now. I don't have to go back, like you were just saying. I ain't got to go back to survival mode, bro. Like, I wouldn't, like most people wouldn't wish that on their worst enemies. Mm-hmm. And it's just like we saying we won't listen to it. Like, I was listening to that shit when I was in survival mode. I need to put this nigga, this G's on, nigga. We finna go outside. It's up. We out here. Mm-hmm. That's survival mode. Versus now, I listen to Andre play the flutes. I just want to clear my fucking mind. I'm not in, you know what I'm saying? You're not in survival mode. You're looking for something that's going to uplift you, something that adds to your life versus reminding you of the troubles of it or where you came from. Mm-hmm. So yeah, now that we've talked that out, it probably does help me understand it more. The best rap is made in survival mode, and no other music genre I would say probably is like that.
No, not at all.
Maybe country, maybe country.
Maybe country, yeah, because you can make the happiest song and pop and be depressed.
Yeah, we just seen that shit on. You been watching rap shit?
Nah, I don't watch it. Remember
I don't watch it at all.
Nah, I tried to watch it first couple episodes. I was like, nah.
Check it. The show is good. I promise you.
I believe it's good. East is on it.
Didn't you like Insecure?
Yeah, but they start telling off them last few seasons though. Like, we got to keep it a bean, bro. They start telling it off. Like, people don't want to say it.
Check it out, bro. This is.
I checked it out. I just
stick with it. It's only 8 episodes. 8:30 episodes, bro.
The commitment.
That's 4 hours.
The commitment is not a problem. It's not a problem. Commitment. I can do that easily. No, I don't think it's good. I just don't want to go in that world. We talk about when we watch shows in certain worlds, you be like, okay, I want to get invested and get in that. I don't want to get in that world. Like, I'm cool, bro. I already didn't watch. I mean, I did watch Dave at one point. I didn't watch Atlanta at one point.
Bag. You ain't want to be in it. Atlanta different though.
I mean, it is different, but that's just not the world I want to be in. Like, right now at this moment, like, that's all it is. It's
what
like
happens if you make it from podcasting and you get in that world?
Like, what happens? What industry? What do you mean?
You're gonna be in that industry if you're in a podcast.
Well, rapping,
a lot of similar
industry?
things. A lot of similar entertainment. And
I mean, that's cool.
Get to D1, we'll go back to it. But what do you mean? It's cool, but you can't watch it.
No, I ain't that I can't watch it. It's just I watched that first episode and it was cool. I mean, the story I could tell it's good. Again, I just gonna have the interest. Like, I may watch it after the fact, like when it's already whatever. I'm like, all right, maybe I will. Yeah, I can suspend whatever. When I watched the first 2 episodes, I was just like, I just wasn't interested.
Think you'll like it, bro. I really think knowing your personality more now, I really.
I mean, and the lead chick, I get it. Like, I know the similarity of, like, she conscious and
you will relate to. Not even the lead chick. It's another really good character. Probably one of Issa's best characters is in this show. It's the manager, but you ain't watch it, so you wouldn't know that she developed into that. But
are you talking about her own girl though?
Well,
anyway, go ahead. My bad. We know we get on
bisexual lady. The bisexual lady.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Maron. I'll send you a picture of it. It was a fly picture of it. But yeah, I like her homegirl too, Mia. But anyway, D1, you said that I would be surprised that you didn't go into it. What, spiritually? Did you say? Was that supposed to be the surprising thing for me?
No. Well, your stance was like he's clout chasing.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Yeah, in so many words. You was like, I feel like I don't. You was like on deck. You was like, I don't know if he like trying to reach for clout because I ain't never heard a dude. And he talked about his accomplishments, but he's like, bro, I just don't blow them up like that. But he's very well established in the things that he's gotten accomplished.
He may be. He's not as well established as Rick Ross or Jim Jones. You would agree, right?
What, in rap? What we talking about? Finances?
His career. He's an artist, right? I don't know.
He's an artist.
We're talking about what we know. I don't know how much money dude making. Did he talk about that on there? I can't remember.
No, he ain't talk about money, but I mean,
he talk about finance. So I don't know what Jim Jones make. I don't know what Rick Ross makes. I'm just saying from the standpoint of being an artist, those two guys are more successful artists than he is. You would agree with that, right?
Sure.
Don't try to shoot me. I hate when niggas know they.
Because it's like, what do we gauge?
Niggas know they point for to be wrong, and they.
No. I'm not. I promise you, I ain't doing that. I'm just like, based on what are we gauging success as? Are we just saying sales?
Well, any success. No, we can remove sales and money from the conversation.
Notoriety.
Successful in the sense of my art. This is what I do, and more people know me from the art that I do versus knowing D1. You would agree that that's the case for him.
Jim Jones, Meek Mill.
Jim Jones and Meek Mill and Rick Ross. You would agree.
I would agree.
At getting their art out there, they've been more successful than he has, right?
I would agree.
Okay. So one would ask or question him in the sense of, why are you trying to give me advice on what to do to continue to move my art? Why would you do that? What gives you the audacity, or like what is it that you are trying to prove by calling me out. I have to believe that it's clout chasing because I don't feel like the people who are open to his message and that he reaches, because like you said, he does have career accomplishments, right? Like those people don't care about Rick Ross or Meek Mill or Jim Jones. Like he didn't have to say that to service his fan base that he already has.
I don't think it was a service
right?
his fan base though. I think
Who
it was
was
a
it
different
a service to?
it was challenging the conversation because what he said was I went on Sway in the morning, but I said I tried to. He said people think, oh, I just picked these random white. Where'd it come from? Because he's like, bro, I had a song years ago called 50 J Wayne or something like that, where he was talking about his admiration for them, but then also the messaging. He questions like, well, you know, I haven't listened to that song in a long time. I'm not a D1 fan, so I don't really like his rap. I just don't. Like I've tried to get into it, I don't like it. So I'm not coming on here.
Shocker.
Yeah, right. Take it easy.
No, I'm just saying that I'm saying that in the sense of he's not as accomplished as the people who he's criticizing.
And that has nothing, but that doesn't have anything. I know he can rap. Like when he doesn't rap and he actually speaks his rhymes, it's better. I don't like his cadence. Like I don't like how it sounds when he raps. But
only a part of rapping is that part though. Like I'm sure that he can rap, right?
Yeah.
A lot of niggas can rap. The other part of it is making sure that people hear it. So you're able to be or live a sustainable life from rapping. Now, he's criticizing people for the product that they're putting out, but his product that he's putting out isn't anywhere near as successful as theirs is.
I don't think that's
what is it, bro. It would be like your local burger store telling McDonald's what they need to do to fix their cheeseburger. If you made it healthier, if you had this ingredient, it would taste good. And McDonald's is like, bro, we sell 1 billion of these a day. A billion.
So we sell 1 billion.
You can't tell me how to make a burger because I'm selling the burgers that I'm making.
I don't care if I'm killing people.
I don't care how you sell your burgers. Bro, 1 billion people buying it every day.
Bro, okay, but so it's not a question
you're right,
of your success.
You're alluding to a bigger conversation in the sense of, okay, what is it doing to our people?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because they
didn't take
got
that responsibility. That's on again. They didn't take the responsibility that D1 took and saying, "I'm here to uplift our people." They never said that, bro. All they wanted to do was rap and be successful with rappers. As far as I know, I've never heard Meek Mill say, "Well, Meek Mill do the prison reforms that he claims."
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really seen nothing too much from that.
Yeah.
But I've never heard Jim Jones say, "I'm here to uplift people." I've never heard Rick Ross say that in a serious manner, other than, motivation for the thugs or some shit like what Jeezy would say. But D1 has taken a real step in, this is my deal, this is my message, and I want people to be uplifted. You can't take that over to niggas is mass producing shit and are more successful than you and say you should be doing it too, when you're not reaching the type of people that you don't have the reach that they reach.
I don't think that's
like
true,
they damn near like an assembly line, bro. Like they these are factories, and this nigga is a mom and pop shop. A mom and pop shop, yeah, you can give me pointers maybe on how to make the process better. However, I'm putting out a lot more volume than you, and I have to service a lot more people. So that shit you doing over there, I can't be obligated to do that. I'm not. So I get when them niggas come and say, "Oh, I did turkey drives, this and the third," and I get what someone would say that's a drop in the bucket. However, it takes a lot more to keep that going, what they have going on, than what it does to keep D1 going. So him criticizing him and saying, y'all never take time out to do this, I don't think that it's fair. I don't think that it's fair for him to be able to do that, and that's why it comes off as clout chasing to me. Now, if we're having a conversation about right and wrong, that I may feel differently about what he's saying, but I still don't think that it's fair. And life is not fair. Yeah, who cares, Lou? Okay. I still don't think that it's fair that he's able to stand on such a soapbox and be like, you guys should be talking about this, and you said you're about that, and you should be helping our community. My nigga, we didn't sign up for that. We just wanted to be rappers. It just so happened that rappers have that much of a prominent voice in our community. But you can't make Rick Ross obligated to that feeling that you have just because that's what you signed up for. And that's why I went to it and wanted to make sure that I was right. And listening to that podcast made me think that I was right in what he was saying, because he's trying to put his plight on everybody else, bro. You the nigga that signed up for this. You want this, bro. And yeah, other niggas should want this, and yeah, niggas with bigger platforms should do this, but that ain't what they doing. They selling music, making money, running a business. Other stuff is more important to D1, and that's fine. It's cool. Make the impact that you're gonna make, bro. But when you start naming niggas' names, in my opinion, now you're cloud chasing, trying to get to the level they are, and want the same people talking about you that talk about them. Will that help your message? Maybe. So maybe it's a good business plan for you. Maybe more people know you now. Maybe more people stream your art or whatever it may be. Maybe that happened, and I'm cool, great, because your message is good. You seem like a good dude, and you're trying to do the right thing. But respectfully, if I were one of them niggas, I'd be like, bro, keep my name out of your mouth. I can see why a nigga would feel that way. I broke that down too. I see the look on your face. That's the look.
Nah,
that's bringing, like we were talking about earlier. That's the Spike
bro.
Lou. I just did the Spike Lou on you.
You did the Spike Lou, and I'm about to do the Maurice Hunter third.
Let's do it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Sure. Optics, cloud chasing. Looks very cloud chasing. Yeah, absolutely. The look is there. That's what it looked like. Where are you coming from? Who are you? But the reality is, bro, I'm a human being. I don't care who you is. Don't tell me I can't come at you. That's a problem with our community. Even in an industry, it's like, oh, I can't. Who am I to? I can't hold you accountable. I can't say, hey, bro, I appreciate what you've done. You are a legend. But do you think that maybe we could try to start taking some of those flexes and create a different form of flexing through the rhymes? Like, I can't do that.
Is that how he asked?
Bro, you didn't hear the episode?
No, when he made the stuff that got him headlines talking about Jim Jones and Rick Ross, did he ask that way, like what you just did? Because we just talked about it in the torn pages.
Bro, we're not gonna do that. Like, act like you can't read between the lines, because you know, like,
no. I'm just saying. I'm wondering,
because
have they ever heard from D1 prior to being?
Yes, bro. He's in a group text. He's in a group text. He said he reached out. He said he was gonna come to Brooklyn.
Him saying that.
Yeah, well, Jim Jones. He's like, man, I'm looking forward to it. And they like, bro, don't do it, man. I'm telling you. He's like, bro, I'm coming with love. I ain't tripping about it. I just want to have a conversation. He said we can leave the conversation and disagree. I just want to have that conversation to enlighten. If you don't feel that way after we done, by any means, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I just want to have that conversation because I want you to understand what my purpose is. I'm not coming off like this. I'm telling you, I'm saying these things because he said I literally, before a Sway interview, just looked up what was the most relevant things because I know he's going to ask me, and this is where I'm coming from. Sure, again, optics, clout chasing, but I don't think it's about, oh, I need to be successful. I don't think he cared nothing about. He just dropped the album and let people choose your price. You could buy this man album for $1. So I'm not tripping about, I need to. He works at Harvard. Like, I'm not tripping about none of this. However,
well, he is tripping about it. He took time out of his interview to criticize other people who were more successful than he is.
But he could be criticized as well. He's not above criticism. All I'm saying is that he don't have to be the message. Sure, we'd be like, oh, maybe Joe Budden should be. Oh, maybe. I think that my problem is, it's like people, we act like, oh, because of our status, I can't challenge you because I don't have the same accolades. That's when you stop looking at humans as humans. Now we're looking at you as an item, and you as an item are not as valuable as me as an item. So then we get away from accountability in our community, and that bothers me so much. It's like, oh, I can't say anything, but you can get on record and diss a whole nother artist and say their name and everything. But when I say your name, it's like, oh, who you come? Bro, then come back at me, or like you do, like, bro, you joke at me or whatever. Who are you, blah, blah, blah. We ain't got to get, okay, cool. Then, all right, let me holler. I'm going to pull up on you. Let's do it then. You know what I mean? Since you want to come out and you come off clout chasing, bringing my name up, let's pull up and let's have a conversation. On air or off air. We could do however you want to do it. But instead of doing that, we say, oh, no, I'm too big for you. I'm too famous for you. I'm too this for you, which you don't owe nobody anything. However, this just bothers me so much. It's like, I get it. People be like, D1 tripping. That's fine. If that's what you feel, nobody's above criticism. We have that conversation here. I just don't think that, well, because of my accolades, who are you to come at me? It obviously is resonant. It's hitting somewhere because it's getting steam.
Well, here's the thing, though. The only reason that you came at me is because of my accolades. That nigga didn't name struggling. It's niggas that rap about a lot worse shit than Jim Jones and Rick Ross. So put yourself in their shoes. As successful black men who think that they're doing things right, Rick Ross has business conferences where he try to put other people on, and the little car show that he does. Well, excuse me, not little. That's hate. The car show that he does. Jim Jones named some of the stuff that he does. Wouldn't you be offended if someone who you feel like isn't as accomplished as you are is criticizing you on a nationally syndicated show, and they haven't reached out or try to have a conversation with you beforehand? All you're doing is running and telling people that you feel this way about the things that I do.
What you
initially, and we talked about this, I'm going to take offense to that because, like, where did that come from? Why did you pick me?
Yeah, he said he looked at the most. Why aren't you talking about the niggas in New Orleans?
Why aren't you talking about the niggas in New Orleans that's rapping about killing niggas in the third ward, like right now today, a lesser known artist that we don't know, who you are more influential than? Because nobody's going to say anything because they don't know those people. You got to feel a way if you've worked that hard to be in the position that you are, and a nigga who hasn't made it to the level that you have in success is criticizing you and be like, oh, well, they should be doing it this way. How are you going to tell me that? How are you going to tell me how I should be doing it?
We're
removing the impact, like, because I understand his sentiment. I don't want people to listen to this and think, well, Spike Lee, there is things going on that Rick Ross could do or that Jim Jones could do. Yeah, nigga, I understand that. I get it. However, if D1,
if I say, hey, bro, I see what you're doing. You're living pretty well. I'm not going to count your pockets. Matter of fact, forget all that. Can you just not promote violence amongst us niggas killing niggas in your music? Can you do that?
Yeah, but why did you pick me out?
That's not the.
What was it about me? Like, why didn't you say that to NBA YoungBoy?
This is
why didn't you say that to any other
Spike,
nigga
how many times do you get on?
How many times
do you get on me about that? When I'll be like, okay, well, if you gonna, I'll be like that, be like, oh, well, then make sure you get on so and so. Then you be like, but they ain't talk about them. They talk about you. So if I come to you, it's like, oh, why ain't you get on? Well, I'm starting here at the OGs. I'm starting at Rank. I'm going here, and I looked up. These are the 3 most relevant albums that has just dropped. So let me start here. Sure, they have the right to feel what they feel. I don't take nothing away from that. All I'm saying is, how can we get to a place where it's like I would never, if I never say these things online, I'll never even get in a room with you, dude. See, I'll never be able to have a conversation with you. Like, if I could start with a Ross, a Jones, a Meek, if I could just start with one of y'all brothers, it's like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna be promoting. I got the strap. I done shot the nigga in the face. I put my little homies on. If I could get to one of these dudes, maybe we can have less violence because you already established. He talked about this is why he said I don't talk to the young boys because I understand they still trying to figure it out. But y'all already made it now.
That's crazy though. That's insane. Because those are the people that you're more successful than, that you could probably have some influence over. But you trying to correct and school a 40-plus-year-old man.
Look,
and
if they're looking
the same
up.
age as me, and you younger than me.
But they're
you're
looking
not even like I'm an OG to you, like you said. Like, bro, who are you?
Nah, he ain't as young as you think he is.
He ain't young as I thought he's in his 30s.
He probably close to 40.
Really? I thought he's young.
Even he been around for
Rick Ross. Rick Ross is 50 years old, and so is Jim Jones.
Jim definitely 50.
Them niggas is 50 years
Jim
old.
is definitely 50. For
so,
sure.
Bro, you could understand. And here's the thing that bothers me the most. And he won't admit it. And I listened to that interview, and I'm listening to you. Doing the right thing is hard, bro. Pause. Like, if doing the right thing were an easy thing to do, then all of us would be fucking doing it. If you could make a good living just going out and doing the right fucking thing every day, then the world would be a better place. He's absolutely right. However, he's taking a shortcut. I'm doing the right thing, but let me take a shortcut because doing the right thing isn't giving me
He's not doing 100% the right thing. Nobody is. He's not doing 100% the right thing.
Well, he's trying to do the right thing that he feels like in music. I don't know nothing about his personal life.
That's what I'm saying. But like
his message, well, no, we're only talking about his message.
His message, yes.
And the criticism that he gave, like we're not putting like him being
but
above the board 100% great person. I don't know that about him. I'm talking about his message. In his messaging, he's thinking that he does the right thing because he's not promoting violence and drug dealing and things of that nature. And he's criticizing Jim Jones and Rick Ross for doing so. However, my criticism of him is You're taking a shortcut. You're taking a shortcut by calling out bigger names who are doing things that you may disagree with in hopes that it gets you attention. Because doing the right thing hasn't gotten you the attention that you feel like that you deserve. And that's what I went into it looking like. It was an ego thing. Because I promise you this, and here's the example that I give you for that face that you're making, people on YouTube that are watching. Here's the example that I give you. Yeah. If he were busy doing the right thing and he was as successful as them niggas, they would be coming to him for advice. He wouldn't have to give them criticism. Hey, man, I see how you're doing this and you're promoting unity and you're doing this in the community and it's dope. You would see Rick Ross and Jim Jones coming to him. Hey, man, how do you do that? Because now I've seen you be successful at that and you're also doing the right thing. But they don't see that. They don't see him celebrating his successes from doing the right thing. All they hear is him telling you how hard it is to do the right thing. Yes, nigga, duh, it's hard to do the right thing. That's why we all struggle with the shit that we struggle with. So don't get on here and tell me that I should be doing the right thing when I'm looking at you. I'm literally looking at you do the right thing and wish that you were in the position that I was in. How that makes sense? Mic drop. Mic drop. Don't roll your eyes at me, nigga.
Wishing, bro. He's been out for a grip, bro. He came out probably around the same time. He probably came out a few years after Ross.
For real.
He came out
for real.
Before me.
Trade his career for Rick Ross's tomorrow.
No, he wouldn't. Why
not?
Here's
he can do the right thing.
Here's how we're gonna get out of here.
He can do the right thing even more.
Here's how we
had Rick Ross's fan base.
Here's how we get out of here.
So he would trade his listeners for Rick Ross listeners tomorrow because he would be reaching more people. And if he were genuinely trying to do the right thing.
You missed the whole message of the podcast, bro. You missed the whole message.
Because I did. Please tell me. Pause.
Yeah. I'm gonna get us out of here. This is gonna be because this is one of those things where you seeing it differently. And because I appreciate what's his name? Shannon. What's his name? Channing.
Which one?
The light skin one.
Channing Crowder.
Channing Crowder. Appreciate him because he definitely gave the great. He's like, man, I mean, I try to do this for community, but I still listen to Jeezy and stuff. He was a great challenger to D1. I think he did a wonderful job. Even Fred, so I think they did a great job on that. And y'all go check out that episode of The Pivot. I look at them as peers. They way up, but still. But just to get out of here, like, I just think that, like, it's just this weird thing when if we try to say, hey, I get it. Okay, the approach, you coming for why me? Why not go at Drake? He been talking violent bars lately. Why not go at Kodak Black? Why not go? I get it. Sure, we can do all that. But regardless of who, somebody was going to get this message, bro. Somebody was going to. It don't matter who. Anybody would have felt the same way. But the reality of the situation is, regardless if we like who's the messenger, what's the message? The message is, bro, can you make an adjustment? Like, because you're not there anymore. You're here now. Sure, who are you to tell me? Okay, I get all that. Yeah, you got it. I don't. Whatever. But are you above at least considering what I'm saying? Are you above that? You're above me considering saying, hey, you're not in the streets no more like that. I get sometimes you tell the stories because that's the war wound story, whatever. But some of the things, can we make some adjustments there? Are you above that? Oh, because you got, okay, cool. So you're going to still be talking about, all right. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing, bro. Like, you're above adjustment. I don't care. I may not be the right messenger. Sure. Okay. Let me go holler at somebody else that may get through to you. I might not be the messenger. Cool. But are you above adjustment? If it fits the bill and you won, you rich, you won.
So it's about the response, then. What I'm hearing you say. Because what if Jim Jones had said, yeah, that's cool, you're right.
Reception. It's more about the reception, I guess. So
yeah, what if Jim Jones or Rick Ross had been like, man, you know what, you're right, I should be doing that. But that's not what makes me my money. Would you be mad at him for saying that, for being that real?
That's cool. That's like agree to disagree. Cool. That's cool.
That's cool to say, like, yeah, you're right, bro. Like that is true, but I don't make money that way. That's not feeding into the perception of people.
I mean,
of what people think that I am or the brand that I represent. Like I'm not selling Chinese food at McDonald's. These burgers and fries over here, bro. Like,
I mean,
would you be mad at them if they had responded that way?
I wouldn't be.
Because
nope, I wouldn't be. No, I wouldn't.
Because they see what he was saying.
Because you acknowledge, like, oh yeah, I know what I'm on, but
okay,
this is what I'm doing.
And I think that's where we differ. Because I feel like that they do acknowledge that they know what they own.
When?
On a daily. I think it's a general acknowledgement as black men. And we talked about it. I think that's going to be on the touring pages, but we talked about it as far as love. Well, no, we just talked about it now. For hip hop, like it's a general acknowledgement of I see these things. I'm not condoning them, but these are the things that are happening around me and the things that shape me as a man. So whether I'm 24 or I'm 40, those things still have affected me. And some people, they've affected it to them where I want to glorify it and still talk about it 25 years later. And some people, it's affected them in the sense of like, Andre, well, I never want to revisit that place again in my life. But it still affected me. And to question, it's the effect that those men have lived. Like to question the effect that life has had on those men. That's where I disagree with D1. Because you're questioning at 42, 41, that those things that I'm rapping about don't still affect me. And I know if it's affecting me 20, 25 years later, that there's a nigga out there maybe 20 years younger than me that feels the same way. Maybe 10 years younger than me that feels the same way. So it's cool for you, D1, to say, hey, I got a positive message and I want to do this and do that, but every nigga is not receptive to that. What about the niggas that are receptive to the stuff that Jim Jones and Rick Ross are talking about and like the way that they phrase it more and it helps them be better? What about them? Like, we're not a monolith, as we always say with black people. And again, I respect the position that D1 is coming from. However, I do think it's kind of clout chasing because we're not all one type of person. Some people turn their life around listening to Jeezy or Rick Ross or Jim Jones. However low of a bar that may be for them, it happens.
I think you need to find another
I think
term.
He's discrediting.
It's not clout chasing. It comes off like that, but when we understood, we got context. I think we need to find another term. It's public outreach. Did it feel like out of the blue
clout
or whatever?
Sounds bad, but
I don't think that's what it was, though. It comes off that way, but again, that wasn't what it was. It
sounds bad, but I'm not saying that what he did was a negative thing. I just don't think that it was.
Chasing clout to me is negative.
Yeah, I don't think that has to be though, right?
What?
I need clout in order to be able to sell my product, especially if I'm in that industry. So if I'm chasing clout, I'm a go-getter. Like you can spend.
It's just got a negative. I think it's just got a negative.
It has a negative connotation, but we can expand the definition of it and say, like, in this sense, D1 isn't wrong and it isn't negative what he was doing per se. It got more eyes, and we're talking about him for damn an hour and 30 minutes. Like more people are having conversations about
it.
Like, so it's clout chasing because it is essentially doing that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing, but I do think people need to really understand what it is. Like it doesn't stop at you guys should be making more positive music. Like that ain't the end of the conversation. And he's being very naive in thinking that it's such, especially
that's the start of the
especially since he's so conscious, especially since he knows how difficult it is to make it in this business. He's seen the success, and I know he would attest to how difficult it is to be that type of rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, give me some grace and let me run my business the way that I want to run it without you criticizing me in front of everybody. Don't put me on the Summer Jam screen, bro. Like, work your network, get to your channels, and get me on the phone.
But when do we?
Because I'm gonna feel a certain type of way, as I should if I'm in a bigger position than you. If I've never had any contact with you, I don't know you, and out of millions of rappers in the world, you chose me. I'm gonna feel some type of way. That's natural, bro.
Bro, but Rick Ross, he came out in what, 05? In a couple years, he had a 20-year career, right? Jim Jones came out earlier than him, right? When is it okay to say
since 96, bro?
So when is it okay to say, okay, bro? Because then he's like, oh, this is my business. Okay, but we're 20 years in. Like, can I ask you a question, bro?
But I've been running my business like this for 20 years, bro. What are you talking about?
Can I ask you? You can
making me money. No, you can't ask me a question, nigga.
All right, man. Moving on. Because this is just where we're gonna always like. I just have a hard time with people like acting like they above board on like, oh, I can't be like. I mean, people say your name all the time. There's up and coming. People say your name all the time, and Ron. I just don't. I just never like when people act like, oh, I'm you. Who you like, bro? You could just wait, or you could just ignore it. You're making your money. You don't care. Then just ignore it. Like, but it's like to act like there ain't no point there. It's like, all right, bro. Like, I just don't like when people.
No, I'm not saying. But
I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm not saying that's what I know. That's not what you're saying. I just, for me, it's like when you get in a group text and it's like, okay, let's meet up, have a conversation. Somebody was like, oh, well, we should film it. All right, that's cool too. Then no reach back and there's nothing happens. So I just.
Why would I do that? Again, bro, these niggas is running businesses,
bro. But you're in the.
We're being very naive to act like, oh, these is just regular niggas. Is like, I want to have a conversation.
And this is why we
I'm Jim Jones. I'm not filming a conversation with D1, bro.
But that wasn't D1's idea.
It wasn't Jim Jones' idea.
It was one of the three. It was one of their idea, bro. It wasn't D1's. To say, hey, you know what? When we had the conversation, we were doing film day. He's like, okay, when you want to set it up, no response.
Yeah, like, cause why would I do that, bro?
Why
would I do that, Maurice?
This is my issue. This is why we won't get forward as a whole in this industry as black people, because we care too much about money and business and not the overall movement of us.
Be my point.
That's what we don't care. Like what it.
Mo, you're a creative, bro, and I love that about you, and I respect it about you. However, business comes into play sometimes.
I'm not saying it don't. I'm not saying it don't.
But you're dismissing the business aspect of it.
You're dismissing the rebrand.
I'm not rebranding if I'm Jim Jones, bro. I've been making a living doing this for 25 years. I'm not rebranding it. And that's the point that I'm trying to get you to understand as you grow into a businessman, because you're going to have to do that when you're promoting Roll and you're putting your audiobook out. There's a creative brain and there's a business brain. Those are on two different sides of the head. One is left, one is right brain. You got to know when to switch those things on and off. And the reason that those guys have been more successful than D1 is because they're able to flow between the two. You can't stay stuck in the creative brain.
And you can't stay stuck doing the same thing forever. You're a slave. You're a slave.
True. That's right. You're absolutely right. But you got to figure out your objective as the person that you are and the great man that you can be. Your objective is to how to figure that out where I can be as creative, and those things that affect my creative side, how can I use that for my logical business side to increase what I'm doing, creativity and righteousness and all of those things? How can I do that? But you can't just stay on one side and say it should be this way.
No, that's not
life ain't never gonna work out for anybody.
But it ain't just saying come this way. I have
be like this. It can't be, but it should be like this. At some point in time, you got to have the conversation with yourself and be like, and I'm not talking about you personally. Don't take this personal.
No.
At some point in time, people have a conversation with themselves and they be like, okay, this is how it should be, and I want it to be that way, but this is how it is. Now, I'm dealing with how it is. How the fuck do I get to how I think it should be? And that takes a lot more than calling niggas out. That takes a lot more than say, hey, man, Rick Ross, man, you're rapping about bullshit.
Start somewhere.
It does. And that was a bad strategy, because we're not going to be talking about D1 in 2 weeks. But I guarantee you,
who else is coming out?
Dr. Umar do this. I seen Dr. Umar do this for the last 6 years.
Okay.
Take paid appearances, talk to people, debate people. Okay. The way that he's going about his message is totally different from a nigga like D1 and how he's going about his message. And I will put them kind of in the same box as entertainers and wanting right by the black community, the black man, especially the black family. I would put them in that bucket together. However, Dr. Umar, even though he does, his brand isn't built on calling other people out and saying they're not doing enough. His brand is built on, I'm out here doing the work. I'm having debates with people. I'm proving people wrong. I know my history. I'm doing the hard work. A lot of people give him flack for not having his school built and all of these other things that they can joke on Dr. Umar about. But the fact of the matter is, he's doing what, like, he's not riding on the coattails of saying, oh, I don't think Barack Obama was this. He ain't, every time that he go out, he ain't trying to diss someone who's more accomplished than him. What he's doing is, I'm showing you that I know what I'm talking about. I'm proving myself by doing the work. I'll take the long route. I'll take the shots. I'll take the jokes. But in the end, I should be the nigga laughing. He betting on himself. I'm not getting that from D1.
All right.
Good conversation.
Yeah, it is.
That's a really good conversation. Now, the next thing that we had before we get into our topic of the week is we're talking about team mentality this week. It should be fun to get into.
Yeah.
I thought that first part about D1 was good. It should be great. But before we get there, Mo, you're a millennial. Ages 27 to 41, 42. So I'm a millennial too.
I about to say, boy, ain't you in the...
Yeah, I fall right there at the end of it. So that's what makes our relationship great, because you're closer to the beginning of it.
Yeah, closer to the next one, and you're the first.
Thought process should be aligned, but they're kind of off because like the gap in age.
It's you be acting like the gap crazy. Like,
I'm 10 years older than you, right?
No, you 41. I'm 30. I'm 33.
I'm 8 years older. So that's a big gap, bro.
Not as adults. I don't think so.
Adults. Like
high school,
no,
yeah. Like you in high school,
so
I'm
for
in
example,
elementary.
Yeah. I'm in eighth grade. You in what? Fourth grade?
First grade, kindergarten, something. I don't know, something. Right. But like,
not as an adult though. But look though, not as an adult from man and woman standpoint. Like a 41-year-old man dating a 30, it's not crazy, right? But in a man's standpoint, like what a 41-year-old man versus what a 33-year-old man has seen is different.
It is different.
Yeah,
it is different. No, but I don't think that,
because like you and I grew up in different.
I think it's more for me though. It's not like
social media.
Or what you say?
Like even in the sense of some small like social media and the internet. Like you didn't grow up in that era, even though we're of the same generation.
Talking about without
like,
internet?
Grow up in the area, like
yeah, I grew up like I'm like the last I'm the last generation before.
So you can remember like no internet times?
Mm-hmm. I'm the last.
About, social media?
Yeah, I'm the last generation. Like social media came when I was. You count what we going? MySpace, chat room. What we going?
Whatever your first experience was.
I was late on MySpace. The real first social media was Facebook.
TV. Yeah, like we was on social media about.
I mean, I was in Black Planet. Like I was on the Black Planet joint.
You had a Black Planet page.
Yeah, like I was.
But internet access was familiar to you, right? Like, did you have?
Nah, it still was very like rare. Like we just got a computer in our house to dial up with, the dial up joint.
I had a dial up joint.
Yeah, like I said, when I look at it like we had like, we was on Wi-Fi. Like it was a very slow process. We wasn't playing people online yet. It was we like the last generation of that. We still rode bikes.
What age would you say that? Like, were you in 8th grade when like everybody had a phone and like?
Oh, like cell phone.
Yeah. Like I'm sure by the time
that's a good question. I might have been probably sophomore. So that was I graduate. It's probably 2006, 2007, 09.
You graduated 09? I
graduated
09. 01.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably about 07, 06. Yeah. So yeah, it's a difference though. But I mean, I don't think it's crazy, but I guess in this time and how things speed up so quickly.
It's not as big as the difference between like a 20-year-old and me.
Like me now, like put me 8 years to I'm 33. You put me to 8 years to a 25-year-old, right? I bet the gap is even crazier.
Yeah. This is like, so you're thinking about somebody who was born in the year 2000.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like the gap is even really crazy. Like that's why I said for me and you, I'm like, the age is there, but the upbringing and the relevance of certain things, with the exception, like we going 80s, of course, and then so that's like out of my realm. But like I like it's not as far. But when you start going,
some of the stuff that I'm talking about,
yeah. So, but that's what make it dope, man. That's why I make another week in the books is what it is, man.
It is, man. And the reason we got into that is because recently, a couple weeks ago now, but I did think this was a good enough topic that we can hold on to, even though it's went through the media cycle. Millennials were surveyed recently, Mo, and I put this in the chat, and I was surprised at your response. So I can't wait to get into this. Millennials were surveyed and said that combined income, combined, that it would take about 500K for them to be happy. Individually, that's maybe 260, 280K a year before taxes. After taxes, of course, you get combined household 500,000 a year. That's what they need in order to be happy.
Oh yeah.
This is our generation. This is me, you. Can you understand? Can you wrap your mind around that being a thing? Or do you think it's way, way too optimistic? Because I had this conversation on Is the Mic on? Y'all go.
Please go. No, please go ahead. Like, give it to me, bro.
Wow. Why are you laughing at it like this? You
bro,
think it's ridiculous?
This is ridiculous, bro. Putting a number on happiness is nuts. Are you kidding me?
But scientists have taken studies, Mo, where it shows.
Scientists have said you got $1 about to say this is going to shoot endorphins to make you happy. Bro, you niggas is nuts, man. What's going on, bro?
Bro,
like, what are you talking about?
Your life changes. The first life changes when you start making 75,000 or more per year. And then that next point where you can actually feel it, they say, pause, is 250. Those were the old numbers. The new number now is 500 combined.
People keep making up these numbers.
You are brushing this shit off like it's Game of Thrones, like it's fantasy at its highest.
It is fantasy
level. What makes you say that?
How
people gotta live, Mo?
They got no money. Money helps facilitate. I will not say. I'm not saying. Oh, you could be just as happy broke. I'm not going to go here and be that guy. But I'm saying you're talking about 75 grand. That's when the happiness begins. Like, bro, you don't even know my living arrangement. What is my rent? What are my expenses, dog? What are you talking about? Like, you can say I got 500 grand, but what is my living expense? What is the things? What does it trickle down at? I could be just as stressed with 500 combined as I could with whatever. It doesn't come down to a dollar amount,
right?
Huh?
You're saying that your living arrangements and things that take away from the 500 grand, like those things that you have are making you happier, right? A bigger house, a couple of vacations a year, able to splurge on your wife, buying things for your kids that they want for Christmas. Like, we've always said this on this show, like happiness isn't a destination, it's a journey.
It is a journey.
It's a journey. So on that journey, if I have more tools to make this ride easier, that's going to be a happier journey, right? This is common sense.
No, I'm going back. I'm not going to say happiness is a journey anymore.
Holy shit.
Yeah, happiness are moments.
You change ideologically.
Yeah, no, yeah, all the way, because it's not even a journey, because a journey means there's a point to land it. I don't think it's a landing point when it comes to happiness. You ain't gonna land. You're not gonna I've reached it. Now I'm here. I'm at the mountaintop of happiness. It's not happening. I don't think that happens. I think that it's happiness are moments. There are bullet points. There are checkpoints. I don't think there's different moments, just moments. I think happiness is moments. So now what matters, like we talk about money, is like, okay, how far in between these moments happen? Sure, finances can help certain aspects of that, but I just think that putting a number on it is just like, bro.
How else would you measure it, bro? You're not putting a number.
You can't measure it. That's the point.
Measure happiness?
No, because a lot of times
you don't think that a person that walks out of their door each morning, each day, and they don't have to worry about if something crazy happens, like with my car or with my child, or like just in the midst of my day where I have to spend thousands of bucks, you don't think that person is happier knowing that they got it versus the person that would have no possible means to fix that problem?
You remember we talked, we talked about this. And remember I told you, I said sometimes those are the happy moments though. It's like, of course you're stressing in the moment, trying to figure it out. Like, damn, what I'm gonna do? I gotta put my baby in daycare. Man, they going $500 a month now. I gotta do this, that. But then when you get to the end and figure out how to make that thing shake based on what you have hustle wise, then you smile and laugh about like, bro. Now I look back. There's moments like I told y'all some stories on here. I look back at moments with me and my wife where we was broke, and I'm looking back. I'm laughing like, man, you know what? I'm glad we went through that.
In the moment, you're not that way though.
Huh?
In the moment, you're not that way. It does develop your character as a person. You're right.
But what I'm
at what age or at what stage in your life do you need to get to where you're like, I don't want those struggle moments anymore, bro. I want to have 25, 30 grand in the bank for emergencies. I want to make enough money to take 2 vacations a year. I want to make enough money to hire a nanny so my wife ain't got to work as hard, or hire a cleaner so my wife ain't got to do as much. Like, wouldn't that make you happier?
That it could be. Yeah, it can make you happier. But here's the reality. This is the problem that human beings always seem to land on. You're trying to figure out how to fix every problem in the world on your time of being on this earth, and you're not. You're not. You can get 500. You're not going to fix every problem. Oh, if I got 500 grand. Oh, I'm depressed today. I'm getting a therapist. Oh, I broke my leg. I'm gonna get this. Oh, my stomach too big. I'm gonna get Botox. Oh, you can't. People are trying to fix every problem, and it's more than a financial thing, bro. You got to find peace within, bro. Like, you ain't gonna get that from a dollar amount. Like, people look at me crazy, and I'm telling you,
money don't give you peace.
No.
Really?
No.
I'm at my most peaceful when I have the most money in my bank account.
I will. Man.
Like that clears my mind. Like, if I know I got a certain amount of dollars in the bank, like, man,
so I can't be. I'm thinking about mama. How mama doing? I'm thinking about, like, dang, my mama going through some struggles.
But that comes with it though, right?
Finances don't solve those things.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm at a certain amount, my mama ain't got to worry about a goddamn thing.
Nah, bro.
Like it ain't nothing she could call and ask me that she wouldn't get.
Bro,
thankful I'm blessed with the luxury of her not having to do that. But
here's what I'm saying. Moms has a habit that is destructive.
Okay.
Mom has a habit that is like, dang.
Money won't solve that. You're right.
Money won't solve that. It's like, dang, mom. I've been talking to mom. Family been calling me like, hey, your mom, man, she,
Right.
And you're like, dang, mom, I'm trying to figure out how to come at her, but I don't want her.
And this is the age gap thing that we live with, because I think money can make that better. Like, if you make right, and again, you can call me out on this. We can agree to disagree. Whatever roads you want to take it after I say this, but I will say it because I genuinely feel this way, bro. If I got the money to put you in rehab, to remove you from the situation in which you're doing the things that you do, I'm going to feel better about myself. That may be selfish. That may be some only child shit or whatever it may be. But my point would be, I would feel a lot differently about my mom having a problem like that if I had money versus if I was broke. If I was broke, I would feel helpless, and if I couldn't do nothing about it. If I had money, I would make it my job, my business, to make sure that I was able to address that situation. But it takes a certain dollar amount to be able to do that.
So money solves.
It may hurt you even more having money and not being able to do anything about it, and knowing that you have the capability for her to do better, but she just won't listen. That may hurt even more. However, if we're talking about a happiness standpoint, and me knowing that I tried to do something, that to the best of my abilities, to all the capabilities that I have in my life, every ounce of money that I could allocate to her being better, I tried to do it, and it just didn't happen. I would feel better about that than being broke and not being able to do anything. I've gotten a lot of those looks and head shakes this episode. I must be really in my Spike Lee bag, bro.
Nah, it's just this is one of those moments. You hit me
with a lot of these, like,
nah. It's just a lot of things within this moment where it just shows I just look at I look at it like this is why I say the age gap don't always mean it, because sometimes I see things that I don't think you see, but you're older. I see certain wisdom, life wisdoms that I'm like, okay, he ain't there yet. Okay.
When you say that, give me an example of what you mean.
Okay, so when you have your own child, it changes your perspective on how you being the child to your mom will be. This is not a thing where it's like, oh, I'm trying to hold you into a space where, oh, this doesn't count because this is not that type of thing. But when you have your own child and you realize what really matters to them, you get them the greatest gifts of Christmas, or you get them the greatest, I got this money, I was able to look at the smile on their face. Oh, I was able to do that. But then when you have a moment where they'll play with it, and eventually the toys, they stop playing with the toys. Eventually the notebooks, they stop drawing and writing in the notebooks. Eventually the tablet, they put it down. But then when they get that moment where they want your presence, it's more than what I just provided for you. So turning it into us being the kids to our parents, again, it ain't always like, oh, we could pull up and that's going to solve my mom's problem, me just being there. No, I know that's not always the case. However, that plays a heavy part a lot of times with family, with people that we love. There's not always a dollar amount. Sometimes presence is priceless, bro. Like for me, it's just, I get it. Money helps. Yes, it helps. Absolutely. But do I want money? I want money. Maurice Hunt III wants money. But I'm saying there's not a dollar amount to say, oh, I can put money on every problem. To think that putting money on every problem can solve every problem is just a misunderstanding to me of how this whole life journey works. The human experience is about connection and relationship. Go ahead.
Money will not fix it. You're absolutely right about that. I want to be clear in what I'm saying here. This show has helped us realize how conversations can help just growing as people and really analyzing yourself as a person. I'm not talking about being an autopilot with money. I'm talking about the Maurice that I'm talking to right now with money. I'm talking about the Maurice that's defending D1 to the death of him with money.
All right, take it easy. To the definitely is crazy.
I dug deep.
You definitely pod right now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, without perspective, without perception, without a game plan, you're right. It doesn't make a difference. However, you are in a position now at 33 that you weren't in at 23. You at 23, yeah. These problems, like what you're saying, absolutely, I could get it. You're a better man than you were at 23, just as I am a better man than I am at 41 than I was at 21. My point is, being that better man with money helps you achieve your goals and impact more people's lives in turn, which should make you happier, because just like D1 was saying, I'm making the people around me better. I can give them jobs. We can go in on business opportunities. That's not going to solve all my problems. If I got cancer, it won't fix that. If I got kids that are sick, it won't fix that. However, I do have the opportunity to do things in my life with money, with my friends, with the people that I care about, with the people that I love. I'm not slaved to some job, but I got to give them 8 hours every day and 40 hours every week and dedicate that time to them. If I had the money to be able to dedicate that time to what you said, being around my family, not just giving them money, because just like you were talking about the example of a mom having an addiction, I would have to think in my being Spike Lee and the ego that I have, if I'm around more, I should be able to do something about that in addition to the therapy that I'm paying for with my $500,000 salary. If I can free up that space and make that money, I can be a better person. And that in turn would make me happy. I'm not talking about it in the sense of I'm making $500K and I got my head down and I'm not paying attention to anything and I'm throwing money at every problem and I'm thinking the money is going to fix it because I'm making more money. I'm talking about being a better person and making more money. I'm talking about the two things combined.
Well, which one is more valuable? That's the question here to me. The presence or the money? Because we of course, ideally you want both. But what's more important? Like, I mean, what's more impactful?
That's a good question, bro. Like, even I've told the conversation that as far as that I have with my dad, not having a presence with me coming up. He still really don't have a presence. We don't talk as much as I would like. Mm-hmm. I gotta think though, it's gonna sound crazy to say, if he were rich and he was sending me $5,000 every month, I don't know that I would be yearning to have a conversation with him. That would just be my rich dad that sends me $5,000 every month to make sure that I'm good.
Okay.
So am I a bad person for that? Like, if I had a dad that was able to say, like, you know what, man, I made it rich. I know I didn't give you the lifestyle that you deserved coming up as a kid. I left your mom or whatever, and you had to grow up as a single child and an only child. But here's what I'll do. Since I'm rich now, I'm gonna send you $5,000 every month. That's just for you.
Well, okay.
If he was rich enough to do that, I'm not sure that I would hold any gripe against him, bro.
Well, yeah. Well, that's different. But I guess what I'm saying is it's contingent on relationship, obviously. It's contingent on that. Like, if you actually have a rapport and a actual real relationship, it's built on that. So I guess that's a part. If you don't have a real relationship, then yeah, I almost feel like the money would be more valuable than the presence.
I think we have a real relationship though. And even with the real relationship, I still would trade that for the money.
But is there value in that?
It is. My dad taught me a lot, man. Even with not being around.
So how could that even be a debate?
In what sense?
Because if there's a possibility, I almost look at if there's a possibility that I take the coin. Yeah, I take the coin. We can text every so often, but I take the coin over the presence. Then it makes me look at like, okay, there can't be really value because I look at dollars as it's an item. It's an item. It's a item or a super.
It's a tool, bro.
It's a tool. Item, superpower, bonus, whatever you want to use. It's something that can help navigate this life. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But an item, a tool over a person makes me have to look at the person can't have real value. You can't have real value.
More effective. Sometimes a tool is more effective than a person, bro.
But life ain't about. But life ain't about just being.
Life is about using the tools that you have to make your life easy.
Life ain't easy. It ain't never gonna be. That's the problem, bro.
I didn't say easy. I said easier.
That's the problem, though. You see why I'm going now?
No, that's the point of every tool, though. Like, every tool that was ever created is so that life can be easier for someone who's doing that job.
It could be easier, but we don't know the percentage of how much easier it's going to be, though. You know what I mean? Like, you can have money, but it's like, okay, that helped a little bit over here. Now I can really focus in on my depression. You know what I mean? It's like, you see what I'm saying? It can make it easier. I'm not taking it away, but we don't know the percentage in which it does. So
let me ask you this. We've had your dad on the show.
Mm-hmm.
In a perfect world, if someone were to say that your dad hit the lottery or whatever it may be, and he was like, Mo, you know what, man, I ain't really got time to ever talk to you again because I got my own family now and own things to do, but I am gonna send you $6,000 a month. I'm gonna do that because I feel like I owe you that. Or if you could have him in the state that he is now, I can call him anytime. He can give me advice. He can be there for me. He can just be my genuine dad that I've always wanted. Which one would you take?
Spike, you know the answer to this, bro.
I know.
You asking a question, you know the answer.
I don't know. I don't know what you would say, to be honest with you. That's what I like about you, Mo. I don't really
you really don't know. I'm that wild.
I don't really know. I ain't gonna lie.
That's great. I appreciate that. Nah, I mean, I want him now, bro. I want him how he is now, my dad. Like,
really?
Yeah, bro. Like,
am I a narcissist for being like, if that same question was given to me, I'd take the money.
I think there's a different foundation in your relationship.
And I love my dad.
I know, but I think
he got me through some rough times.
But there's
he's gonna be on the show at some point in time, and we'll talk about it.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna make sure I make it happen. But
2024, I think the foundation is different, though,
people
bro.
who hear me talk about being the only child probably don't understand, and growing up with a single mother, they probably do not understand how much I genuinely do love my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like he taught me a lot of stuff once I was in more contact with him later in life.
Okay.
That's a fact. Like part of the person, when you asked me earlier about being Spike Lee, like that shit came from him.
What's the age of later for you?
21. We established
that do make a difference.
We established a real like connection and being there for each other at 21.
Okay, so that makes a difference. Like if you started to establish a version of that at 13, do you think you would still? No, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're right. That's why it makes sense. But if you, I don't know, and just use your imagination. If there was a version that was like, okay, I'm gonna really connect with my son, whatever, even though me and his mom, whatever. Mm-hmm. If he does that at 13,
oh, it'd be different. You're right.
Do you? Okay,
you're absolutely right.
So
if I had that when I was younger, okay, and even more so than it, like I was not a grown man, but I was more close to adulthood than most when they get to have that relationship foundation with their fathers. So you're right. Those 7 or 8 years from 13 to 21, if it had been at 13, I probably would say the same thing that you say. You're right. Mm-hmm. However, it was at 21. So if someone told me now, and even on the relationship that we got now, like, because we don't talk as much as we used to from 21 to 28. Like those were the most important years for me with my father. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, if a motherfucker was like, hey, would you trade that for like $6,000-$7,000 a month? Absolutely, nigga.
I'm leaving my job today.
I ain't even knocking my dad or anything, but yes, nigga, I would.
I'm out of there.
The sentimental value is not there.
Right, because
like,
of those.
Like the Christmases and all the things, like that was Mom Dukes. Yeah. The childhood, making sure that I was straight, the nurturing period, my mom did her fucking job in that. And making me feel like, bro, anything you want, I can get for you.
You
just need to do what you supposed to do.
Do your hold your hand up.
Right.
So that's
it wasn't ever a male dominant voice in my life that was like, yeah, but life is gonna be hard, nigga. Like she ain't gonna be able to save you every time. Like it's gonna be sometimes when she gonna want to save you, and that shit ain't gonna fucking happen. I didn't learn that until I was older. And him telling me that as a father, I'm like, oh, damn.
And that's my blood.
This how it's supposed to. Yes. Yeah. This how it's supposed to go. Like I was supposed to have knew this at 14 and 13. And I was supposed to be able to handle my friends better and situations better because I had this input from a man, not a woman, that was telling me everything is going to be okay because I always got you. And this goes to the clip that I sent you about Instagram that we wanted to talk to, and it's perfect. Young little boys don't need that. They don't need that, in my opinion. Growing up as a little boy that had that, you don't need that reassuring voice from your mom saying everything is gonna be okay, because that's not true.
Okay,
that ain't true, bro.
I should have.
That dude on the Instagram tip, like just the Instagram clip like that I sent you. And, you pulling it up?
You try to put a clip up.
Yeah, you can find it. But one of the things about that was it registered so closely to home for me because I remember being that little boy that was told, because I was raised by mostly women, it's gonna be okay. I got you if nobody else got you. It's cool. You can figure it out. I'll help you. That ain't how the world works, bro. And it takes a man to tell you that. It takes a man that has been through those things to be like, hey, man, you know what, bro? At some fucking point in time, you're going to have to figure it out. You ain't going to be able to cry to mama or cousins or grandma or none of that shit. You got to figure that shit out. Every man needs to know that at a young age, 13, 14, 15 years old. You should understand that. And I didn't understand it until I was about 20 years old. Like, damn, bro, ain't nobody coming to save you. Like Rich and I joke about this all the time. Like, bro, no one's coming to save you, bro. But it takes a man to tell you that.
You want to play it?
Go ahead.
Raising my sons against some bullshit you said you're going to tell your son. I'm raising my sons against the bullshit you said you're going to tell your sons.
I would tell my son to live your life and have fun.
So what I would tell my son is the brutal reality of the world. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be brutal. It's not going to be okay. You will suffer like a motherfucker if you don't get to work. You better compete and compete early. Every day you wake up, you're in competition. My sons are going to be ruthless, and they're going to own your sons, and that's why single women, they raise these boys, and it kind of sets them up. Because if there's not a strong father in the house, the son is at a disadvantage. It's ruthless out there. It is nature. I'm raising my son.
Facts.
All right. But my problem is like,
facts,
but my problem is it's like, who are you to talk about? My sons are gonna own your sons.
Yo, I mean that's a little.
Who are you talking to, bro?
What bro did you focus?
Bro, who are you talking to? Nigga, watch your mouth.
Well, you crazy,
it's a white guy talking about
bro.
but my sons are gonna own your sons. Even if I'm not black. Yeah, we ain't even got to talk about it because I'm gonna go a whole different. Different. I get what he's saying. He's right. There is a difference, but don't.
Okay.
But we don't.
As a man, you know that he's right.
There's some truths in what he says. Yes.
You know he
ain't right about everything. No, he's not right about everything. No, right is a final statement.
Okay. You said there's some truth. Tell me what the truth and the indiscrepancies are. Like, what do you mean?
Indiscrepancies is like, tell him like you're gonna own somebody else's son. Go tell him out there.
That's a singular man's terminology. Let's take out what he feels about it.
Focus on the overall. We're not gonna do that. You're talking in everything you're saying. You're talking like it's factual because you're passionate about what you're saying. So I got to take it all in context. You can't just pull out. This is where you want to. No, you said it all in one sentence. So we're going to rock it all. You know what I mean? So that part, and then just like the kind of the competitor part of it too. I get it, but if you got it, I think, okay, I won't take that away. There's nothing wrong with healthy competition. Like if you're like, I'm trying to be a better version of myself, I need to lean on this person's better than me in this aspect, sure. I think most of the things he's saying is true. I think, but I don't think that you can really come at a woman. I don't think you can come at a woman in that way because she's not a man. She don't have the tools to give a young boy.
That's his point.
That is fine, but it's like, duh, nigga. Like, obviously, it's obvious. She's a woman. Like I wouldn't expect a man to come nourishing like, you gotta be.
It's crazy.
It's obvious.
You get the message though, right?
I get the message.
You get the message, and knowing that. Again, I'll be completely transparent here. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that.
What?
In my younger ages.
Aware of what?
The competition part of it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Like all of us men out here, we're competing for the same thing, the same salaries, the same love of what we do and being able to make money from it. The girls, it's a competition. Women really don't live in that world. So my mom never told me that. Again, growing up as an only child and a single mother, she never was able to implement those things that he's talking about in that video to me because she didn't understand it. It didn't make her a bad mother. She just didn't know. Mm-hmm. As I grew older and started to establish relationships with my dad, and we told stories and he figured out how I lived and shit I had going on and things that happened to me, he was able to explain, oh yeah, this happened to me too. This is how you handle that. This is the reason that that's happening to you as a man. My mom can't do that. Mm-hmm. So he's absolutely right in the sense of it takes a man to let a man understand how the world is going to treat you. Because a woman can, I ain't saying it's impossible, but a woman can mislead you to thinking that everything is going to be okay because she got you and she love you. And I'm sure you as a married man would understand that from your wife. You have a daughter. You have a mother. Like those people probably like, Mo, that's my guy. I'm going to make sure that he's okay. But there needs to be a man in your life being like, hey, look, bro, they can't save you. You got to save yourself. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to do it yourself. And in order to keep that affection that you have from women, you got to show up for yourself before they show up for you. Like, that's what I've learned. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. That's just what I've learned from the position that I've been in the Spike Lee. What do you think?
No, you're right. I mean, you need the male perspective. Like as a young boy growing up, we talked about that on that. Actually, speaking of talked about that, the Spotify wrap up, our highest streamed episode, I guess, is Quiet Male Confidence.
Yep.
Episode 50 for those chapter 50. So, which I believe we talked about that, like that male perspective, that male love being implemented from a young boy perspective to like, so it's like dude is on point as far as what he's saying. And, you know, but I think that a lot of times, I guess what more so was my issue is just like men and women are complementary. So it's not like, oh, I got this more than you got this. It's just, no, I got this area. You got that area. Yep. Yes, and I think that's why it's like, I get it, but it came off like, oh, I got the scoop. I got more. It's not even that though. Men and women are complementary. Like from the gate, like what we carry and what they carry. It's no coincidence we have what we have in our genes. They have what they have in their genes. It's a perfect fit. So it's complementary. But that's more so what it is. But take us, set aside that, yeah, sure, we need us. Taking it back to what you were saying, my dad came back into my life fully at 13, relatively 13, 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there. That makes the difference. However, I didn't get everything that I really needed from my dad. And I've had conversations with him recently realizing he didn't get what he needed. So that's why it trickled down to me. So now I had to do even more work.
He didn't get everything he needed from you?
From his dad. The first.
He didn't have the He wasn't equipped to give you what you needed, what you're saying.
Yeah, so now I realize it's like your gauge is based on your brotherhood. Your fatherhood is based on your brotherhood. How you are with your brothers, how you are with your homeboys. That's what your fatherhood is built on. But I know that's a whole nother conversation. So let me ask you this. How do you feel about dealing with this theme next week? Because I think that we've had and we deal with it now if you feel like that. But I feel like we've had such a great conversation. I feel like it still deserves more
time. I'm not in a rush, man. We ain't done this in good 2-3 weeks, man. Like whatever you want to get into. You super producer mode, man. Like Rich say, man. Like I trust you. I trust you with my creativity and my voice, bro. Like I 100% do. I want you to know that. So if you think, hey, let's continue to go. If you think, hey, this is it, I trust you with that decision. I'm empowering you as a black man.
Thank you, black man. I appreciate that. I tell you what, I think that I do. I think that we should move it to the following episode because I want to really dive into it because here we can give y'all a little preview here.
Fans, if y'all mad, be mad at Mo, not Lou.
That's right. Yeah, I accept. Hey, I run the Another Week in the Books Instagram. So if y'all mad, y'all like, yo, you should have went into. Come on with it. Come on with it. awitb2022@gmail.com. But I will give y'all a preview here. Next week's episode, when we get there, we're talking about team mentality. We didn't get to it this episode because we really had some really deep conversations that needed to be had, and we brought it back. So we'll bring it back next week, and we're getting closer to the holidays as well. But I will say this is a necessary conversation because a lot of us black people, we really operate from an individualistic mentality because it's like Spike has spoke about childhood growing up. It's like I was the only boy. I had to figure it out. I had to get it out the mud. I had to do it on my own. A lot of us have those experiences. So when it comes to relinquishing aspects of our responsibility for the team effort, especially a person like Spike Lee being an only child, it could be quite a challenge. And I hope that I'm getting y'all very excited for that next week's episode.
I was ready to get into all of this. Absolutely.
I mean,
this is one of those topics where I was having self-conversations.
Oh, yeah?
Like you read it and you're like, well, like, you know what I'm saying? And you're driving to get something to eat Well, I had to drive into the office this week, so I'm driving to the office, and I was thinking about, hey, what are you gonna say to this? Or this is an interesting topic because I know, like, you as a producer more so now, and what you're looking for, and why you came up with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this was something that I did have conversations with myself about this week.
Okay. I don't want to. I do want to do it, but I don't want to short changes. That's my thing. It's like it's a
Bruh,
hard
I'm
battle.
not unless you have somewhere to be, I don't. I'm good. It ain't too late here on the East Coast. I can go for at least another hour.
I definitely
I
got
would say.
another
You got another
hour.
hour in you.
I got another 30.
So
I
say
probably got
that.
another 30.
Say that. Say I ain't got it.
I
Yeah,
definitely
don't,
got
yeah,
another hour,
I
but
can
because
go.
I got to
Yeah.
turn around these episodes. So
Mm-hmm.
let's do it. I'll edit that out. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So let's have that conversation then. The teamwork mentality.
Mm.
How did you get to that space? I mean, we talked about earlier in the episode, you and Animal Brown, Chris, and even some of, I imagine Realville Media, all those things that y'all gathered to create a collective effort in.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, when did you get to a space to say, oh, I, as Spike Lee, can't do it on my own. I need help. When did you get to that space?
You know what, man? And that was one of the conversations that I was having with myself as we talked about this. I'm not even sure if I've made it to that space yet. I still have that only child. I can do it by myself. If these niggas don't feel the idea that I have, I can do it alone. I'm still in that space. And that may be the reason why what we've tried to do to this point hasn't reached the heights that we wanted it to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still feel like that. Like, and full transparency, as an only child, that concerns me because I'm not sure if that's like me or them or other people. Like, even in like taking it out of the podcast space and being in a relationship, I always look at it like I can do this shit by myself, bro. I don't need your input, your criticism without giving me praise that we talked about.
Well, that's
I don't
different.
need that. I'm good. I'm good in the sense of I know what I want. I think I know how to go get it. And if you and me are arguing over a difference of approach, a difference of just ideals, I'll do it myself. I read it. I think that it's gonna work. I've seen other people make it work. I'll go do it. And this is not me saying that that's a good thing. This is not me saying that I figured it out and I'm not willing to change. I haven't met the person yet who's willing to put up with that in order to make it change, though. That's what I will say in full transparency.
How do you still have that mentality? Have you reached the heights you?
No.
So how do you still have that
Absolutely not.
mentality? How is that possible?
What do you mean when you say that?
Okay, so saying, hey, I can do it on myself, do it by myself. And you've probably I know you didn't do everything you said I could do it by myself, but there's probably definitely a lot of things that you said I'm gonna do it myself, and you went ahead and pulled the trigger and did what you intended to do. And that's why I asked, did it reach the heights you reached? Because
No.
if it didn't, then how do you still carry that mindset?
Pride, to be completely honest and transparent with you.
Yeah.
And we talked about this at the top of the episode. I'm not sure if it's the torn pages or what. I've said it about 3 times now. But one of the things that I like, you have no understanding, Mo, of how much I appreciate how much you're willing to give feedback, good or bad. Like, no one that I've worked with before you is willing to say, I looked at this, I listened to this as you've done. Here's my feedback on it. Like people have acknowledged other things that I've done, but they've never been willing as openly as you are and as comfortable as you are with me now. Like you can tell me, and I wouldn't say I'm not talking to Mo for 3-4 days. If you said, hey man, you was bullshitting on this, bro. I don't know if you was drunk or you wasn't into it. Like, I don't know what it was, bro, but this was that bullshit. Like if you hit me up with that and told me that just randomly, I wouldn't be offended. I'd be like, okay, Mo does this, he does this with me. He sacrificed his humility to reach out to me and even get all of this shit started.
That's huge.
Like
humility.
He did that. Again, like, bro, you and I, the relationship that you and I have, I don't have that many relationships out there outside of this one. Mm-hmm. So I hold it. You could never know the regard that I hold you in, as far as like when you say, and you can give me honest feedback. And I say that to say it's really difficult when people don't seem as if they're invested in what you're doing and what we're doing as a collective. If it's just, hey, we should do this, that, and the third, and then you say you should do it and you never do it, and it never comes back up because you're friends and you want to be cool and you don't want to be that guy that keeps bringing this up amongst friends and it's business. Like you and I have a really unique relationships as to where, yes, I would consider you a friend.
Yeah.
However, there is a successful business behind our friendship and what we're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And in a full moment of transparency, like Animal Brown and I don't have that. Like he and I are friends more so than we are business partners.
Yeah, the terms are different based on the foundation.
100%. Because I knew him before this was a business. Exactly. So with him and even with me, even if he's not willing to admit it, I'm more reserved with him than I would be with you.
Limitations.
Right. Because I look at it like, oh, he's a friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chris ain't gonna do it. Like, I'll figure somebody else to do it with. Like, it's never really, I'm gonna hold you accountable for what you said you were going to do. And for the most part, with you and I in our relationship, even though, again, it's grown into a friendship, you do have that responsibility in my life, as do I in yours. And what we do is, I'm going to hold you accountable. Bro, you said you're going to put the episodes out every this, that, and the third. You said you were going to edit them. I said I was going to be here every time at this time. I'm holding you accountable for that, even more so than our friendship. Even though the friendship means a lot, it still too goes a long way as business partners that you and I met on that level. Because there's an expectation that I have of you that I don't have of Animal Brown. And I've been working with him for 10 years.
Yeah. No, it makes all the difference in the world. I mean that, and I don't know where that lands or what it fully means, because it's like this thing where, do I look at my friendship with this individual a certain way because we're in business, so I'm not willing to challenge him in that way? Or do I look at my business relationship and say, I'm willing to come at you this certain way, but the friendship behind the business now. So I don't even know where that's a very complex place to be.
And I can tell that you have the hesitancy. I can tell. And that's the great thing about having these conversations in real time and you and I being in the position that we're in. I want you to understand that the friendship means the world to me. I want it. I respect it. It's great. However, our foundation is built on we're going to make these things work. Good earners and another week in the books. If that means that I got to call you out, Lou. Now, I'm not saying if I got to call you out, Mo. I'm saying if you have to call me out, you should feel 1,000,000% comfortable in doing that. Because at the end of the day, yes, we're friends. And no, this shouldn't affect business, shouldn't affect how we conduct our friendship. But we are emotional people. It does. It happens. that's the forefront for you. There should never be a place where you're like, well, I can't really say this to him because we're friends and we're cool and we've gotten this group text together with Rich and like, you know, I don't want to make him mad.
I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, I don't ever want you to think that, bro. Because here's the reason. I respect your creativity.
Yes.
Like, and you take this sometimes as a slight when I'm joking with you and Rich about it, but I'm like, Mo is Mo. That's what I like the most about you.
I
like
appreciate
it's gonna be like, bro, I don't feel you. Like you're not gonna sugarcoat it or hedge your bets and be like, well, it's Spike Lee, he's my friend. I see how he feels about it. I don't really want to get into it, so I'm just gonna let that shit pass. No, that ain't your role, bro.
Yeah,
that ain't what you do. You're one of the friends to be like, nah, I'm bringing you to Front Street, my nigga. Like, come on to homie court. I wanna call you on this shit that you said you would do, because again, that's how you and I connected. You listened to On Deck TV for however long it was.
The whole time.
And you said, hey, I'm a fan of him. Now being in the position where like, well, I was a fan, now I'm a co-worker and a co-creator with him. I should be able to call him on any bullshit that I sniff out. And I should be able to be like, you know what? I don't take offense to that because I know he don't have no harm. Even though we'll disagree, even though he's not my homie from 92, like I don't know him from that, but still, I know what you mean when you say, hey, man, I think this could be better. I think this could be done differently and more effectively. And I'm willing to listen to what you say and be wrong about it because I respect your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And that's you saying that to me when you bring me something that I disagree with. Like that's we have that type of relationship where it's like, hey, bro, we can butt heads. Most niggas who go into business with their friends, and the prime example, you asked me what happened with Realville Media or with Animal Brown, we're not willing to butt heads.
Yeah.
I want niggas around me that's willing to butt heads. I'm so adamant in this. I feel so deeply in this. I'm willing to go to the mat with it. I don't give a fuck who you is. I don't care nothing about our friendship. This is my position, and I stand on it. You and I do that well because we're still getting to know each other.
Right. See, I guess, and two, it's like we talking about team mentality. It's a lot more to lose when you butt heads with friends. Because again, we had the conversation day ones versus day twos. There's a lot more to lose with those day ones. We got history, you know what I mean? Versus the day twos that we got relevance, you know what I mean? So that is a challenge. And same thing with you, like you and congrats to Spike Lee. Y'all send him love, man, getting his business degree. Like, that's why I trust you on everything business. When you say, oh, this guest, oh, this timing, this, all right, cool. I ain't about to argue. I'm telling you, I think, no, sir. Like, I trust, just like you trust me on the creative side. I said, when we talk about being a team, and I want to speak more to me getting to a place of relinquishing, I have to relinquish duties and responsibilities because the reality situation is I can't do it all, bro. I don't care how much of a star I feel like I am. I don't care how dope however great any of us feel like, you can't do it all. We look at Jordan. The original name of this episode was Jordan in the 80s. Like, you can't do it all, bro. You could put up 63 against the Celtics, but you're not getting the dub. The ring is what. So with this, it took me a while. Like, even how I learned how to produce, I did it out of necessity, not because I wanted to. This is nerd type stuff to me. I didn't want to do that, bro. I didn't want to figure out GarageBand or now I use Mixpad. I didn't want to do that. But I didn't like the idea of having to lean on other people. Oh, can you do this part? Can you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, well, I can go to my producer to do my rap songs. Maybe he could do it. And he's like, he gonna charge me this amount. I'm like, do I really want to pay that for a podcast? So that's how I found myself getting to the place. Now, in reality, sure, I would love to just come on, be co-host. B Mike, come on. I got enough talent to do that. I would love, hey, here you go, bro. You got it.
It's more to it than that, though.
But
you're saying
I need another me to do. Let me step away from the producer part and let them do it. And so, but what I would say to people that are trying to build a team, like you got to understand, I've been saying this a lot lately, know your strengths. Know your strengths, because that is going to help you navigate where you know you're not strong at, where your weakness is. You need to bring people along. So I would say to you, Spike, as we having this conversation, a great conversation, you got to be okay to you got to relinquish something. You know, you got to, you know, you could do it all on your own. Like I'm gonna use an example. Big Crit. I know you was a fan, not much a fan now. But Big Crit, when he finally, and even J. Cole too, they both produce and make beats. I mean, rap and make beats. You know, coming from the Kanye lineage. But at some point, they realize I need to let another producer come in and produce so I can focus solely on my pen and pad and rhyming. And for that, they got more bars off. They got more similes. They got more things off, flows, patterns off, being able to relinquish that duty over there. So I would say for me, when I had my bros, they left me. Then I did it dolo, and it was way more work when it was just me. And I probably did 18 episodes. I was like, I can't do this. This is too much. And I fell away until obviously I came back with Roll and then reaching out to you and Rich, and the rest is history. But like, I would ask, how do we break that mentality for a person like you that's like, I always got it on my own? What do you think you need to do? Because you know it's needed.
Damn, that's a really good question, man. I think vulnerability is the main thing.
Okay.
If it's this, and again, one of my favorite phone calls that I've received from doing this is from Dro, who was on here last week. And he was like, "Well, you're in sales. I'm trying to grow the business that I created, and I want you to help me with your sales expertise grow this business. So I have whatever it is that it needs to do, but I trust in you enough because I know you, know the type of person that you are. I trust in you enough to be like, I'm going to put this aspect of my business on you based off me knowing you and you telling me about the skills that you have now." And I say that to say, trusting in each other more. That was probably my favorite phone call of this year that I received, was from him asking me, "Hey man, can you do these cold calls for my business? Can you help me build this? Because you're a sales guy. I'm not. I don't do that." It's two things. One thing, it's recognizing where you are as a person, and it's also acknowledging how good your friends are at the things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most limiting things to Animal Brown and I's relationship is, maybe because it started the way it did, and what I talked about earlier, is we don't really respect each other enough to be like, "Hey, here's this opportunity for you. I think you will be great for it. Reach out to this, that, and the third person, and I'll put in a good word for you and make it happen." Like, we really don't do that with each other. And I'm not sure if it's because we didn't grow up with each other. We're not those, I would hate to say that we're not those type of friends, but when my friends understand my skill level and my skill set and what I'm able to do, and just like I understand that with them, when I'm able to be like, "Hey Mo, hey, this studio, they need a producer, they need a guy that can cut clips, they need a guy that can do exactly what it is that you do. You can make some extra money for your family, help, raise your kid, whatever it may be." We don't take enough time out to figure out what it is that the people around us that we love, that we have admiration for, how that can affect our everyday lives, and we put them in positions to be able to do things to help them out. Like, I don't get that a lot. It's very rarely that niggas call me with opportunities. They may feel like, "Oh, Spike, well, he got it. It's cool. Like, he don't really need this from me. Like, I listen to the show, but it's cool. Like, I seen the nigga shoes or clothes or whatever he had on. He don't really need this. It's cool." if we could get out of that mindset versus, you know what, I know someone who would be great for this, or I'm starting a business and I want you to help me with this. Just like we were talking about earlier with giving people compliments and making sure that they understand that when I criticize you, I've given you enough compliments for you to understand that it's not coming from a place of hate. That when I criticize you, it's coming from a place of love because I want you to be better. If I had more homies in my life that were able to be like, hey man, there's this opportunity for you because you do podcasting and I've been listening to you for 10 years and I know how well you are, how good you are at what you do. Hey man, you should check this out. You should give them a call. I came across this opportunity because I'm your homeboy. I'm presenting this to you. This is the conversation based off this topic that we should start having. How have I put myself in position to present the people who I love, who are good at what they do, to be like, hey, I got this opportunity for you. When I'm feeling down and I'm feeling like, damn, man, I ain't doing enough, that's the problem with me. I wish that I could tell a nigga that calls me and be like, man, hey man, I lost my job today. I'm doing this, that, and the third. I wish that I could tell a nigga, man, you know what? I know what you do. I can give you 40,000, 50,000 a year right now and let you be able to find something that's going to make you better money. But I could use your skill set because I have this business going on and I know it'll help you out. Like I'm down on myself every day about not being in that position to be able to do that. Because I think that's where ultimately we want to end up as black men. I don't want you to have to struggle through corporate America, act like some nigga that you ain't, do stuff that you're not comfortable with doing. I want you to be able to come to me as a man, as a friend, and be like, hey bro, man, I ain't really like figuring it out in corporate America. I know you got this business going on. Absolutely, nigga, I hire you as a salesperson. I'll hire you as a person that does this, that, and the third, and I can pay you 40 to 50 grand a year. And not even being the nigga to be like, I want to be able to go to niggas and they offer the same thing to me. Hey man, I know you're doing the podcasting thing, bro. I got this job, 40 grand a year. You're gonna be able to still do your thing. It ain't gonna take much. I just want to make sure that I'm helping you out. We got to get to those positions in life where we feel like I'm contributing enough and I can do enough stuff where I can help my homeboy. They ain't got to go through these struggles. Mo called me and tell me, hey, bro, like, I ain't really feeling this job shit no more. Cool. I got a media company. I want to bring you in. I'm going to give you 50 grand. That ain't a lot. However, it's enough where you can get done what you need to get done and you can build off of it. That's the position all of us need to be in and should want to strive for, as to where, because we know how hard it is for black men, I can give you an opportunity, bro. And that's the thing that bothers me the most. When I'm talking to the niggas and I can't be like, damn, I can give you a job. I can give you opportunity. I can work with you on this and we can make this amount of money. That's the thing that pulls me down the most and I'm most sad about.
Now, I mean, you spitting like that's definitely that, and I would just say to that the financial part of it, absolutely, and I just say that you said vulnerable, which is one of the ingredients to Another Week in the Books. Driving force here, it's so essential. I'm kind of putting a button on it, but like, it's just so essential to understand that like you just can't do this on your own. This is what, and I'll shoot this your way as well as anybody else listening. Like you said earlier about like relationships and like I can do this on my own. But a lot of times when we have that mindset of I can do this on my own, we haven't had enough time to value what our partner actually bringing to the table. Not the simple things of food and or moments, but there's a overarching thing that it takes a lot of time to really recognize, especially as men, because we miss a lot. We just be so on the grind and hunting, bringing back food to the house, so to speak. We miss what the value is that she's bringing to the table, as far as like, oh, you really are helping me navigate this thing called life. That's just one aspect. Yeah, go ahead.
And like what you said, I can do this on my own, but how comfortable am I asking for help?
That's
like it even something small. I give a real life example. You and I were talking about video editing. I've been podcasting for 10 years. Like Animal Brown does all the video editing for On That TV. I had to put some pride aside to ask you to be like, hey, I want to get into video editing more. And that's based off the relationship that you and I have built over doing this show over the last years. I've never been able to ask Animal Brown and be like, well, you know what? I'm gonna get a good response. It's cool. He'll teach me how to edit. It's so understated in the sense of building some comfortability with the people that you're doing business with and being able to tell them, hey man, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take anything away from how my expertise spans across what we're doing as a business, but it will add to what we're doing if I could ask you unapologetically, like, hey man, how you do this? Can you help me with this?
And on the flip,
we got to get more comfortable with each other as men, and be like, hey, can you help? Can you help me with this?
And this is big for you because remember, this is the guy that worked at Target.
Facts.
That wouldn't ask for a ride walking as far as you walk, bro, miles.
Bro,
that's ridiculous. It's like you look back at that now, you like, bro.
It is, bro. Like 100%.
Like for real.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I put my headphones in and strike out walking for 2 hours,
bro.
When I could have been like, there's other ways to figure this out.
Other ways, yeah. That's huge. And for me, on the other side, it's like when you're saying that, it's like, I'm glad you asked, bro. I could use help. I need some help. I need to be freed up. I could be like, nah, bro, I got it. Nah, I could do it, bro. No, he come and talk about he need to do it. Also, I ain't doing enough. So now I need to.
Or even thinking that I'm trying to undertake you.
Exactly. So it's like
that way I can box him out.
Exactly.
All of those insecurities we deal with as black men because we deal with that in the normal, everyday corporate America.
Yes.
However, if we're able to trust each other, and I'm confidently able to say I trust you, so I can ask you and be like, hey Mo, teach me how to edit these videos where I can get these 10-minute clips out. And you being like, okay, cool, I'll do that.
Yep.
I'm not threatened by it. Exactly. I don't think that there's some arterial motive as to where he's trying to do this where he can get rid of me. Nah. It's just I want you, because I see you doing it, teach me, bro. And if we all accepted that responsibility as black men towards other black men, like, no, I don't, even if you do prove me right in saying, oh, you try to do this other shit, you shucked me out, you did this and I thought you were doing this. Okay, cool. That's fine. However, I still should be open to being like, man, you know what? I got you. I'm going to teach you how to do this because I know it's going to make you better. And I know we're going to reap a better profit from what we're doing here. So, yes.
That's why I want to land this thing. You said I'm watching one of the shows I watch is Melrose Place. It's an old 90s show. It's part of the 901 I can't even whatever. I get 90210 universe, whatever. But there was a scene on there where a guy was just like, you know, I'm open. Rather you hurt me or you willing to love me, I don't care. I'm open. Just don't ask me to wait. And it was such a deep bar for the 90s. It was like, So when you're saying that, it's like, bro, that's why for me, it's like, I'm not tripping. I've been hurt and I've been edified. I'm okay with either way this can go with anybody. So I'm open. A lot of times us as black men and black people in general, we be close. Nah, what he think? I know she didn't think. Like, bro, I'm not like that at all. Like, it's like I'm open to it. You can take what you want. I trust and believe that we're gonna do this the right way. But if you do it on your own, then it is what it is. I know that's not the case here, but it's just it takes too much effort being on guard all the time, bro. As a black man, I'm tired of being on guard all the time. I'm on defense all the time. I'm in protective mode all the time. I'm in armor mode. Forget all that. Because when I'm in that mode, I can't love properly. I can't uplift my brothers. I can't uplift black women. I can't do it properly because I'm on guard all the time. I'm concerned that I'm going to be so heartbroken when I give another person an opportunity, they're going to take advantage of me, that I won't. Matter of fact, I ain't going to set myself up. Forget all that, man. That's why we watch these sidebar. That's why we watch the white shows, because they do be open. And sometimes they get heartbroken. Sometimes they win. We got to be open, bro. That team mentality is essential. It's going to take more than you. It takes a village, bro. Stop all this mean mugging, trying to be hard, trying to be tough guy, Superman. Forget all that. You ain't doing yourself no favors doing that, bro. If you think you are, I would challenge you. Where are you today? Did you meet the goals you set by doing it the way you've been doing it? Because I didn't, and that's why I had to change, bro.
That's great shit right there. That is great. Like, I don't have too much to add on to it, but that is great, because I've experienced that with friends.
Yeah, man.
Like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing here in the sense of having this back and forth if it's not going to add to the overall thing that we're trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem when people say going in business with friends or whatever it may be. And that's what I appreciate about the relationship that you and I have so much. I
do. Same here, man.
I don't ever want you to think that you can't bring a concern to the table and we be able to address it as business people and still be friends after we walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a pretty good grasp on that.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That's one of my biggest mistakes in first starting this, doing this so many years and working with the people that I've worked with. It was we're friends first and then we're business partners. And it just doesn't work.
You got to pick and choose what you want to protect.
It doesn't work, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because people want to protect. Oh, I want to be able to call him and talk about the latest episode of Sopranos or whatever it may be, and still be friends, even though we disagree on this business arrangement. And you and I have an understanding of, you know what, you and I can disagree on this business arrangement, and we can still talk about the Sopranos or whatever it may be, because it's deeper than rap. And you put it so eloquently right then. That was perfect. That was a perfect way to end it. I'm talking too much, so boom.
Nah, you're right. Just be open, man. Team mentality, man. We thank y'all for tuning in. Spike Lou, you got some recent work you've been doing here lately. I mean, you always got work going on. Where can they find you? What you got? What have you been a part of here recently, man?
On Deck TV on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I'm not sure. Wednesdays. DeadEnd Sports on Tuesdays. Frames per second. We are reviewing Raising Canaan right now.
Oh man, I'm missing out.
You guys yes, sir. You guys can check out the Raising Canaan episodes on Frames per Second podcast, and Good Earners. We're doing Sopranos breakdowns. We're on season 4. A lot more is going to be coming from that feed based off the conversations that we've had. So yes, you guys make sure you check all that out. What you got, Mo?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what I got. Matter of fact, I won't tell you. I'm just going to move out. If y'all on YouTube, y'all can look at the screen here. Y'all see these 3 different covers there. That's self-explanatory. But for those that listen to the pod, another week in the books, like he said, Good Earners, of course, roll. Go listen to the first 3 seasons, working on the book. Y'all already know that. I'm gonna go a whole different direction. For those that want to wonder what music has Mo really made, go to Reverb Nation /Molytical1. If y'all want to hear some of my raps, some of my songs, y'all can go there, man. It's out there. Like it's you know,
never dies with you rap niggas, man. Y'all always
I don't make any money off
my
this.
Mixtape.
I don't make. I'm just
shit. Y'all still
look at him. Look at look at him. Like tell him where they can find your rap on iTunes while you play it. Like look at him.
It's funny.
Y'all
got to do some deep dive.
Yeah, I look at him. See, he ain't gonna do that though. Let me see. AWITB2022@gmail.com if y'all want to reach out. Also, Another Week in the Books, the Instagram page. Y'all can always reach out there. And let me give y'all the phone number. We do accept voice notes if y'all have an idea of concept y'all want us to talk about, or y'all just want advice. We're open to that too. Just like, hey, I just want to hear what y'all think about this. 470-318-5034. 470-318-5034.
Please call, leave voice messages. Love those. Those drive the show. It gives us confidence to do what we do every week. I ain't even gonna lie to you, Mo. I've been feeling down this week, and I was like, damn, man, I'm gonna get up for another week in the books this week and get the people what they want.
But bro, why did you lead with this? What the? Y'all gonna have to find out next week what Spike Lee has been down about. Cause I can't believe he just revealed this to me. This guy.
It's a good next week episode.
Yeah, you left and gave us a cliffhanger.
I 100% came into this episode like, man, I ain't really feeling it today. Like, I don't know. Can I do this?
I didn't even know, bro.
Do you think that was that reflective at all?
No.
As you as a co-host? Okay.
No.
Cool.
This guy really pods. He really pods.
I swear to God, my thoughts before coming into the show, man, I don't really feel it today.
Why did?
But as soon as we got into it, I was like, okay,
yeah,
that's good. Let's go.
All right, y'all, man. Well, it's been another week in the books. We thank y'all for tuning in, man.